So I woke up this morning and I was like, I want to film, but guess what? This girl, she forgot her camera in Tallahassee, so you know that kind of sucks. So I am on my way to Walmart. Oh my gosh, there's a Target right here. Should I go to Target first, y'all? I'm gonna go to Target first. I was gonna go to Walmart, but I'm gonna hit Target first to get a like a little selfie stick, so that while I'm on this road, I can film what I want to talk about. So today I want to talk about my testimony. I woke up and I just felt inspired. I've been listening to a lot of gospel music last night, this morning, and I feel like it's time to share it. I know that a few people aren't going to be too happy with me sharing it, and maybe some people are going to be uncomfortable with hearing me talk about it, but yeah, God doesn't give you testimonies for you to keep them to yourself, you know. So I am going to share my story with you guys. A lot of people's thoughts about me are going to change, but hey, I'm ready for it. I'm excited. I didn't go through it in vain, and I know that now, even though it hurt, you know, when I was going through it. But turn up! So y'all, there's like one Target in Tallahassee, so like I don't even go to Target anymore. So it's gonna be so weird, because when I was younger, I used to go to Target like every day with my mom, like just cause, I don't know, we always made up a reason to be in somebody's Target. It's kind of awkward just talking to myself.
But let's go find this selfie stick.
I don't even have to drive all the way to Walmart. Woohoo! But I think I'm just gonna buy this, and then no, actually I'm gonna go look in their home decor, because I'm trying to change up room essentials. I'm trying to change up my roommates and I are trying to decorate. Speak English, Sarah. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna film that, because this is really supposed to be about my testimony, but I guess it's a mini vlog too, huh? We in this game. Gang. Yeah, I guess this is a mini vlog, or maybe I'm just not gonna use any of this, because I'm really just talking pure foolishness. I'm gonna get this stuff. Okay. So a lot of my testimony has to do with the very important date to me, February 8th, 2017. So let me just tell you a little bit of history about me before I actually get into the testimony. If you follow me on social media, you've probably seen like my house, my car, you know, my parents before. And so my parents, they grew up underprivileged. My mom basically grew up in a hut in Jamaica, moved from Jamaica to England. They still lived in a, you know, small place, so they grew up, they weren't wealthy. My grandfather became a pastor, and then they moved to America. So that's why I was born in America, not in England. My dad was born, raised in England. All his family's still there. But he came to America. My parents got married. Yeah. Anyways, so they both grew up very poor, but their parents made sure they knew that like education was the key. So yeah, basically they make a lot of money, and that's why I'm well off. Here's my testimony. So that you can understand a little bit of why February 8th, 2017 was so impactful and so important to me, this is where it stemmed from. So I got in a relationship, July 27th, 2014, and it ended February 8th, 2017. So I was in it for a while. I really liked the guy. I had a crush on him for like years before I ever even talked to him, which is weird because I would tell one of my closest guy friends, yo, he's cute, like, you know, put me down. But so yeah, eventually one day he just slid in the DM and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And y'all probably like, this story sounds familiar. Yeah, if you watch my vlogs or my videos before that are deleted now, I might put them up so that you guys can kind of see like how we were together. We were a pretty funny couple, we were pretty cool, but I deleted all them things February 8th. Well, I didn't delete them, I just removed them from my page so that you guys can't see them. Simply because I was moving on from him. But now that I'm healed from the whole situation, I mean, I'll put it up, but I just don't want people to think that we're together anymore or there's any type of ties. But yeah, I don't want anybody to get the wrong message. Because I am fully healed and I'm fully moved on. And a lot of my friends can't really believe the fact that I said I moved on. Because if y'all would have really saw how we were together, you would be like, really, Sarah? You're not done with him. But, you know, I don't judge relationships anymore, and I don't look at anybody's relationship like it's perfect because I knew how to put on a front like my relationship was working and I wasn't hurting. I knew how to do that. So now when people paint these pictures, I'm just like, I don't even really know if that's real, but I wish y'all the best. Anyway, we were like really close. So we dated for a while. A year into our relationship, I found out the day after Valentine's Day. That's my mama. Hold on, y'all. I think this is my mom for real. I hope she parks so I can park next to her. I can't tell if this is her. It'll be crazy if it isn't. Oh no, this is not my mom. That was not my mom. That's awkward. The lady is black and she has the same hairstyle my mom has. But I could see her hand in the front mirror, so I knew that was not my mom's hand. Okay. Awkward. And I'm staring this lady down like, hey mom! Okay. Good thing I didn't wave or anything. She would have been like, what is wrong with this black girl? But yeah, so a year into our relationship, I found out that he was cheating on me November, December, and January. Y'all, let me tell you why this story is crazy. Because he lived in another city that was about 400 miles away from me. And he came up to where I live to surprise me on Valentine's Day. Okay. The crazy thing about it is he drove the 400 something miles but on a bus, and usually it takes like 7 hours to get to where he lives, but on a bus it takes about 11 hours to do that drive. So he did all of that, you know, for me, to surprise me. I mean, he's not good at surprises, so I knew he was coming because like when I would call him, like he would mute his phone in between, and I was like, I can hear that you're driving a vehicle, but I just played it off, whatever. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this still. I'm sneaky, and I just took his phone like when he went to sleep, and I looked through it and I saw videos and photos of another girl, and I knew who the girl was because I met her before, like when I was back home with him, whatever. I met her, and he was like, oh, she's an ex-girlfriend from middle school, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. She doesn't really mean anything because I was middle school. So he bought me some chocolate, some regular candy, and he got me one balloon. Great. Okay, so when I was in his phone, I saw a video of him give her this big old card, teddy bear, and a whole bunch of balloons. I was just like, wow, I've been with you for a year now, and like you gave this girl so much more for Valentine's Day. obviously there's something wrong with me. But I never took the blame. I just blamed him for being a dumb boy. And I'm still to this day, I'm not taking the blame for you cheating on me, because you could have just left me. You could have just left and then did whatever you wanted to do. You didn't need to cheat on me, because I was, okay, anyways. I told my Instagram that I was gonna make a video about how I reacted. So this is not the video of how I reacted. This is the video about my testimony and how I got out this relationship. So anyway, a year into the relationship. So we have a whole another year and a half left going in the relationship. Y'all are like, why did you stay a whole extra year and a half? Well, let me tell you, when you're having sex with somebody, crazy things happen. Why do you stay for those reasons? Why do ladies that get abused stay? Because it's emotional attachments and sexual attachments, and there's something called soul ties, and soul ties are real. And I don't care whether you're Christian or not, soul ties are a real thing. You don't have to be a Christian to feel attached to somebody that's abusing you, because you're still having that connection with them. Yeah. So I think that's part of the reason why ladies that are being abused stay, or ladies that are being cheated on stay, even though they know their worth. You know, months will go by and we're kind of on and off, and then we're like, okay, since we're just still dealing with each other, let's just do this for real. So we got back into a relationship for real. And it was just difficult. Like, we would argue a lot. I did not trust this man, okay, because you cheated on me for 3 months. It's one thing if you cheat on somebody once, okay, so one night thing. I mean, he didn't cheat on me by having sex or kissing her, but you still texted her and made videos with her, or maybe they did kiss, I don't know, but he didn't have sex with her, I don't know. But that's emotional cheating is still cheating, okay? So, and that went on for 3 months. 3 months, you guys. But I said I wasn't gonna talk about this in this video, so tune in to another video that talks about that, because y'all, I had the craziest reaction. I'm not gonna make myself sound crazy in this video. This video is to help somebody who's in a tough situation and feels like they can't get out of it. So I actually recorded earlier today, but I did not finish my story. So I thought it was a perfect idea, because February 8th, 2017, the whole, you know, how the story goes, it took place in my room, in my bathroom. Y'all probably like, what are you talking about, Sarah? But you're gonna understand in a few seconds. So I thought it was best to demonstrate in an actual bathroom in a room. So I'm in my guest room at home, not in Tallahassee. So yeah, I thought it'd be a good idea so that you guys can kind of get like a visual representation also, so you can like kind of be like you was in the room with me on that night. So finally, February 8th, 2017, so, yeah. I got out, and a lot of my friends don't understand, and they're like, why won't you know, girl, you're gonna get back with him, why don't you get back with him? But after I tell you this story, like, I think a lot of my friends and people are gonna understand why I can't go back to my ex, and why guys who like me and want to date me will feel more comfortable, because I know a lot of people see how close-knit like we still are, but because we're in a relationship for 2.5 years, so we know a lot about each other, we're real cool with each other, we're cool with each other's family, but we're just not meant to be together. So get ready for this. Now y'all need to, usually when I tell this story, and I haven't told it too many times, but I tell the person, okay, close your eyes and imagine. But I'm gonna try to be as descriptive as possible, and I'm gonna try to keep this video short. So yeah, you're gonna get a real visual. When I describe it to people, I say close your eyes, and imagine that my bathroom and my room are close to one another. So you see how I'm exiting the bathroom now, I'm in the room, and the bathroom is back here, where all that bright light is. I'm back in the bathroom, okay. So it's very close, and on that night, the lights in my bathroom were off. Basically that night, I was walking like from my bathroom to my bed, back and forth from my bathroom to my bed, and the lights were off in my bathroom, and I had one light on in my room. Okay, so let's get right to it. Now y'all, you are literally gonna be in the moment with me. Okay, so I always set the mood when I'm gonna pray and read my Bible by playing some gospel music. This is a great artist, one of my favorite songs. So actually on that night, February 8th, 2017, I was sitting on my bed, playing music on my laptop, and that week my church had been doing a fast where we had to read the Bible and pray for an hour a day. So I always did that at night. During this time, we were about 3 days in by February 8th. Yeah, because I was on a Wednesday. So this is my 3rd day in the fast. Anyway, so this is what I was doing. I was literally just walking up and down, back and forth, and I was just praying and praying and praying. And every time, and I would walk from my bed to my bathroom. So every time I came to my bathroom, I would begin to speak in tongues. And for me, when I begin to speak in tongues, I like to ask God, you know, what is the purpose of it? Like, why am I speaking in tongues, or what am I actually saying? And then sometimes God answers it, and sometimes I understand like it's just intercessory prayer. There's 2 different types of speaking in tongues. Sorry guys. So I was walking towards my bathroom and it was really dark in there. So I'm gonna try to get to the darkest part. And I stood in it, and as I was in the darkness, God began to show me that this is how this is you in bondage. He showed me my relationship, that's how I felt. I was in chains, I was in bondage, because I don't know if you guys really understood the severity. When I said I couldn't get out, it was like I would try, like the movie Get Out, I would literally try to leave, but something would always bring me back. So it was bondage, it was chain, and because we were also having sex during the relationship, that was bondage as well, because the Bible says that sex is the only sin that you commit against your own body. And so guys, that hurt me, because for a lot of my life, I told myself and I promised God that I was going to wait until marriage to partake in sexual intercourse. And that just didn't happen once I got in that relationship. So a lot of times I would just cry. I would cry to God, and I felt like I could not get out. I felt stuck in a relationship, and I knew I was disappointing God, and that hurt me to my core, knowing that I made a promise to God. Like, I didn't make a promise to my friend, I didn't make a promise to my mom, but I made a promise to God, and I broke that promise. And it's like every time, and the crazy thing about it is I would pray, yo God, can you please forgive me? But then the next day, fall into sin again. And that's the crazy thing, and that is why when you guys see me in church, I am ecstatic, because God has loved me unconditionally. Even though there are times when I told him I would stop doing this sin, the next day I would fall into that sin. But God continues to love me. God continues to bless me. He continued to show me favor. I was receiving honors in my classes. I was receiving the dean's list. You know, I was getting into honor society. So even though I was disappointing God, he continued to bless me and open doors that I couldn't even imagine for him to open. So I love him for that. But anyway, zoom back into that night. So God showed me in the dark room that I was in bondage. I was in chains. And so that made me start to praise. And I started to praise and pray a little bit more. And I walked out back into my room, and God showed me, yo, this is the light. This is freedom. So the bathroom represented the darkness and the bondage that I was in. But my room was the light and the freedom that I could experience. You know, if I gave 100% to God. God later told me, okay, Sarah, this is the ultimate act, showing me that you are giving away this relationship, because I was like, God, I'm ready, you know. And he told me, okay, close the door. So I began to close the door to the bathroom, but it was cracked like that. I was cheating. And I said, and guys, I literally wept. I held this door like this and I wept. I wept and I wept. Not like, you know, that boo-hoo cry when your mom tells you you can't get anything, something that you really wanted. Yeah, it was like that boo-hoo cry. The funny thing about it is you would expect that because I felt so bound in a relationship and because I was so hurt by the things that I had to encounter and the fact that I did break God's heart, I still found it difficult to close the door all the way. I still found that difficult, and that's crazy to me, you know? Even in the moment, I was like, why is it hard for me, Jesus, you know? But you have to realize that I was in this relationship for so long and I was so tied, and soul ties are a real thing. So eventually I did it, and immediately I fell to the ground and I worshiped. I worshiped and I worshiped and I worshiped and I cried out. But guys, do you understand? As soon as I closed that door, it was like a weight was lifted off of me. Freedom, freedom. Everything that I've been holding went up. It was off of my shoulders. So, God immediately told me I had to erase everything of him. You know, if I was letting go of him, I was letting go of him for real. So he told me I had to delete all the pictures, and I did, in my phone, on Instagram, which was difficult. Even though it was such a freedom, it was still hard because I'm a picture hoarder. I have a lot of pictures on my phones. But I deleted the pictures on Instagram except for prom because that's the day I wanted to remember and reflect on it. I blocked him. I blocked his number. I blocked his Instagram, all the social media accounts that we had one another on. The thing is, I actually didn't ever tell him that I blocked him or anything. He just, a few weeks later, I don't know, I think we ended up seeing each other because at that time we were preparing for a fashion show. So I think I had to see him at practices. And he realized like I blocked his number because it was going straight to voicemail. And yeah, so that was the release of everything. Also that night, God confronted me about clubbing and partying. And I told a lot of this part of this story in another video called, what's my video called? Living a Double Life. You know, calling yourself a Christian, but doing things that weren't Christ-like. And I decided that day, February 8th, 2017, that I was no longer going to go to club. I wasn't going to party. And I was giving away my toxic relationship to God. And that day I gave 100% of me, you guys, because that was the hardest thing for me to give up. And even though God continued to ask me for this relationship and continues, before he even asked me to break up with Tavares, he asked me to give him my relationship, and I didn't do that. So make sure you cover your relationships. So yeah, I gave him the relationship. I gave him every part of me. You know, I asked him to come into my heart again. And that week was so uplifting for me. Every single night, God was giving me a new message. I don't know, was this the same night? Yes, it was the same night. Oh my goodness. And I talked a little bit about this in my other video, but I kept saying this word in tongues, and it wasn't in English. I didn't know what I was saying, but I continued to say it. And I'm like, Jesus, yo, what's going on? So I had the bright idea, okay, let me Google Translate. And I set the word into Google Translate, and it said, I love you. And I was like, I have no idea what language I'm speaking right now, but that is such a beautiful thing. That in this time, you know, what it felt like I was giving up everything, all of me. I submitted everything to God, and I'm closing my eyes because I'm really passionate about this, because it was such an amazing night for me. Yeah, so I gave everything to God that night, and he made me feel whole and loved. You know, it was the best feeling ever. And guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, things that are happening to me now, I know was from, I won't say that night only, but that week alone, because I made sure I spent up to 3 hours with God every single night, you know, just praying. I don't know if my roommates heard me, but there was a lot of nights like I would just cry out, and I was just raising my hands, and I was just speaking in tongues, and I was praying, and I was interceding for people. I prayed, I think, for every single one of my friends, every person I know. People that I know don't like me, I was praying. People that I
don't really like, and I don't hate anybody, but there's people I'm not really favorable about because of things I've seen them do to other people. But I prayed for them in that week, and I began to see the relationship between them and I begin to change. And the great thing about that week is a lot of the things I prayed for my friends, I began to see manifest in their life. But the relationship just became very difficult for me in so many ways, in ways that I never told anybody about or showed. So if you are going through a hurtful relationship and you feel like you can't get out, I'm telling you right now, just give it to God. And whether that means you staying with the person or leaving the person, I don't know, but give everything to God. But definitely pray. And if you're being abused, leave. Mentally, emotionally abused, leave, because nobody deserves that. So all my friends that are watching now, you understand why when you ask me, you know, are you gonna go back to him? Are you sure? You guys were so nice. You guys, I love seeing you guys together. Like, you guys were goals. No, because ultimately what you're saying is, do you want to go back to pain? Do you want to go back to feeling like you're locked in a box? That's like asking somebody who was in jail for 45 years if they want to go back to jail. No. And I don't have anything against him. We're like the bestest of friends. I love that kid. And he's gonna be a great husband and a great boyfriend to whoever else. You know, but that was a learning experience. We were young. I did a lot of wrong things. It wasn't just on him, but we both hurt one another, and we had to move on, and we did. And we're both living better in lives apart than how we were living together. So, you know, bigs up to, speak English, big up to Jesus, okay, to the number one man. So, ooh, I'm doing mannequin. Ooh. I'm probably making y'all dizzy. But shout out to Image's Mama Chica Corporation for teaching me.